ton of Icon. I probably spent $300 that week at Harbor Freight. It's quite a ding to my credit card. I dinged it up a few times. It hurts a little less. You go there the first time, spend $170, go there again the next day, spend $50-$60, and then before the sale opens up to everybody on Friday, you go back one more time and spend like another, $60-$70. It's just the way of the world. Hello and welcome to Prestige Worldwide. Up for the video today, we've got the Harbor Freight Spring Black Friday sale, and the ad was leaked on Reddit. They have a whole little r/Harbor Freight section that people leak this kind of stuff. So it's a pretty cool resource to get the inside track on some of these upcoming sales that Harbor Freight does. And I, like a lot of you guys, am a big Harbor Freight purchaser, shopper. And no, I enjoy tools. I'm in the construction business. I've been in the construction field for about 21 years, and I just love tools. I use them a lot at home. I use them occasionally at work. I'm more of a management professional these days. I do a lot of admin stuff, but I'm out in the field about half the time. Anyways, one of the items that I am most excited about for this Spring Black Friday event is going to be the Icon 800 lumen LED flashlight. Now, it's going to be similar to the Braun light, and I use this thing all the time. It's one of my favorite flashlights, and I have a lot of high quality like Olight flashlights, and I still like this Braun better. And I'm a big fan of Icon, so the Icon light is going to be a big deal. I'm going to get at least one of those. It has 4 colors. It has black, blue, green, and red. So I like the green because that's the one in the sales ad. I also like the blue. The blue looks pretty classy. I'm probably going to get, well, at least one of those. Now, I did modify my Braun light with an Olight battery because I'm sort of a flashlight nerd, and so I have a better battery than the stock one, and it charges up just fine. You just plug in the USB-C cable to it, and this thing's awesome. I use this probably almost as much as any other flashlight, but I use a lot of flashlights just on a day-to-day basis. Like at work, I carry a 4,000 lumen Olight to look into attics, to look crawl spaces, to basically, like, if there's like a tile job, I can shine the flashlight at like a high angle to see if the tiles line up, to see what kind of minute variables. Drywall work, I will shine a flashlight at a high angle and see how the drywall finishers did, so to speak. In this ad, it starts on Monday, April 7th for Inside Track Club members only. Inside Track Club members get early access starting on April 7th through April 10th. And then sale opens up for everybody starting Friday, April 11th through Monday, April 14th. So if you are Inside Track Club like I am, then you get the first crack at these flashlights. And I'm sort of guessing that these Icon flashlights are going to be going fast. So if you're not Inside Track, these Icon flashlights are, they're going to be limited in supply. You may not get the color you want. You may not get them at all. I don't know. Depends how many they stock ahead of time. Now, if they have a pallet of them at every Harbor Freight, then yeah, there's plenty to go around. But if they're anything like those mini toolboxes, then yeah, it might be tough. And I did buy the max limit on the toolboxes, but I sold one of them to a friend of mine for $10. Did not mark him up at all. Didn't even charge him sales tax. Like, hey, which color do you want? And I think he bought, let's see, did he buy a red one? I don't know, but he loves it. And I gave him a good deal. Felt good about that. Sort of making the world a better place. Sharing the wealth of mini toolboxes. So. Okay, so they've got the magnets on sale. I use these all over the house, all over the garage. I have them mounted on all sorts of different surfaces. I put, flashlights, I put pocket knives, I put batteries. like rechargeable batteries in my living room. So like if I'm playing Xbox and the battery goes out, I can grab a battery right off of the magnetic strip. I don't have to go digging through a drawer. The batteries are right there in front of me. So like literally, yeah, grab a battery and move on. So then they've got some nitrile gloves for 50% off. That's sort of a standard deal on a Black Friday, a parking lot event, to get 50% off the nitrile gloves. They've got the Pittsburgh wrenches for 20% off. Not the best deal. You got the foam mat, you got the ratchet straps. Those straps are good for $6. Now, just a few months ago, they were on sale for $4.99. So they're 20% more than they were, but everything's 20% more than it was 3 or 4 months ago. Okay, I might get some comments on that one. I'm sort of kidding, but those, especially those have gone up 20%. So it is what it is. The regular price has gone up, and then they put them on sale. It's just the way of the world. Then we've got this 56-inch roll cab, $100 off. So that's not much of a sale. That's probably 12 to 13% off. You can get a better sale on US General. You could, occasionally they have coupons that include all US General rolling toolboxes, or they'll have a 15% coupon on with no limit on anything in the store. I bought my US General toolbox used. I have a 34-inch service cart and I love it. And I bought it for $250. Got it from this guy that worked at the Caterpillar shop, diesel mechanic. He upgraded to a bigger box. I think his buddies were making fun of him because he had a Harbor Freight box. This is one of the best $250 I've ever spent. Love that thing. So then we've got the Avanti paint sprayer, 3000 PSI. Buddy of mine has a Avanti electric one, and there's a video. Go ahead and check out my video on that. And we'd sort of demonstrate it. He paints his fence. It's a thriller. It's a great video. You should check it out. It actually has a lot of views. That one has a lot of views, actually. Then we've got a one-man auger. Now, I used to do a lot of fences, and one-man augers are great if the soil is soft and there's no rocks. But if there's a bunch of rocks, you gotta grab your digging bar, you gotta go in there by hand, or grab a bobcat or some other piece of heavy equipment. So really, and if the soil is soft and there's no rocks, you can just dig them by hand. So, I mean, in my opinion, these things are pointless. I used to own a two-man auger. I used it sometimes, but I mean, that thing would beat you up just about as much as a shovel would. I guarantee you that. Then they've got a generator on sale. That actually looks like a pretty good sale. $310 off on a 5,000 watt generator. Moving on to the next page, Icon for 35% off all Icon pliers, screwdrivers, and hammers. That's a great deal. If you are interested at all in anything Icon other than the sockets. Now, if you really wanted the Icon sockets, you should have bought some back during the last Icon sale, which I think was Black Friday proper, back in November. They had Icon, one of those sales, they had Icon 40% off on the sockets, and I bought a ton of it. Ton of Icon. I probably spent $300 that week at Harbor Freight. It's quite a ding to my credit card. I dinged it up a few times. It hurts a little less. You go there the first time, spend $170, go there again the next day, spend $50-$60, and then before the sale opens up to everybody on Friday, you go back one more time and spend like another $60-$70. It's just the way of the world. So yeah, Icon 35% off, pliers, screwdrivers, and hammers. It's the best deal on those items that I've seen. I mean, I've seen 30% off, I've seen 25% off, 35% off is a hell of a deal. Those screwdrivers are awesome. I actually have them. I'm gonna review them soon, so stay tuned for that. You got jack stands on sale, welding rod. I wanna get a welder at some point. Never learned how to weld. Pittsburgh floor jacks. Let's see, let's not go over every single item. Let me pick a couple to talk about here. We're on page 2. They've got the American flag on sale for $4. Good time of year to get a flag outside and show your patriotism and all that stuff. These Apache cases, the 3800 case, I own a couple 3800 cases and a couple 4800 cases. They're awesome. You can put all sorts of stuff in them. Like I've got one for pocket knives, another one for like watches, and it's awesome. They're great. Okay, moving on to the next page. Okay, just highlights. Just highlights. These hose nozzles work great. It's worth $4 for sure. I've seen them cheaper, but for $4, not a bad deal. Bug swatter. If you have fruit flies or just house flies or mosquitoes or whatever, those things actually work pretty well. You've got your 5x7 tarp for $3. I guess if you need to cover a lawnmower, that tarp would probably do the trick. Then they have some generators on sale. They've got a wood chipper. They've got some plug-in outdoor power equipment. They got a chainsaw and a pressure washer on sale. And a nice 1,200 pound steel utility cart. That's pretty cool. Okay, moving on to the next page. That Avanti HVLP paint sprayer that I mentioned earlier, that's on sale for $40. That thing works pretty good. You actually need to test the viscosity of the paint before you spray it, before you run it through. They have in the instructions, and we show you in the video, you have to sort of water down your paint occasionally, depending on if it's too thick. Now, if you buy cheap paint or cheap stain, then it might be watery enough right out of the can. They've got some cheap safety glasses. Okay, we've got the Warrior bits on sale again. I've told you guys about the Warrior bits on other videos. They're not very good, especially if you want to drill through metal. I had a frustrating afternoon when I was adding a baffle to my motorcycle exhaust, and I just needed to drill like 2 holes, one in each. It was a dual exhaust. No, I had 2 holes in each one, so it was like 4 holes total. And man, I broke like 7 or 8 of these Warrior bits, just going up a size, up a size, up a size. And then I ended up just going to Lowe's and buying DeWalt bits that ended up working just fine on metal. So these Warrior bits, they seem like a great deal, but I mean, unless you're planning on only drilling through wood, it's probably not the best drill bits for you. You can get DeWalt bits, or Bosch bits, or Milwaukee bits, or whatever you want that's a premium bit. You can get them on sale too. You can spend $10 and get a nice set of DeWalt bits. It's not going to have 29 pieces. You might have half that many, but they're going to be quality bits that will last at least longer than one project. Okay, then they've got some hammers on sale. Those hammers are awesome. I've got one in my truck. I've got one in my living room, honestly. I've got one, I've got a couple of them. They're just scattered about. It's great to have hammers. I used to be a carpenter, tool belt on carpenter for, I don't know, like 9 or 10 years, back when I was younger. So I'm old, I'm washed up, I'm 41. So yeah, it was just a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away. I was a carpenter with a tool belt on, and I worked for a living every day, and most of the work was outside. I was a framing carpenter. They got a miter box on sale, Hercules miter box. I would rather get a DeWalt. If I'm gonna get a 12-inch miter saw, not gonna be a Hercules, it'll be a DeWalt. Spend a little bit more and get the DeWalt. That's really the simplest way to talk about it. These little McGraw compressors. Now, I currently have a big compressor that's like old. I bought it used. It's just clunky. It weighs way too much. I don't know, probably over 100 pounds. It's one of these like 12-gallon tanks, and it's got wheels, and one of the wheels is busted. And I really just need to get a little, I haven't done it yet, but I really need like a little compressor that I can just, grab and move it and throw it in the back of the truck, and it's not like an ordeal. I don't need to ask somebody to help me lift it into the truck. I can just grab it and go and, get whatever done. So these little McGraw compressors, one day I might buy one. I might buy one of those one day. Okay, so what else do we got? SDS drill for $169. That seems like a good deal. A plug-in drill. Those things used to be a lot more expensive. Now you can get another brand. They've got cordless ones that are maybe just a little bit more than 170 bucks. I mean, you got to factor in the batteries and the charger, and then sometimes you get a combo, but yeah, it's good to have an SDS drill if you are doing masonry anchors or chipping away tile floors and stuff like that. Then they've got an Orbit sander for 40 bucks, not bad. Okay, moving on to the next page, let's just do highlights. I keep telling myself that, and then I get on a sort of a roll doing each item. So let's see here. Speed Square for 5 bucks, that's a good deal. A better deal was the Milwaukee Speed Squares for, I think you could get 2 for like 14 bucks last fall. And then they went on even a better sale. You could get 2 for 10 after Christmas. Now that sale I think is sold out. So if you need a Speed Square, that's probably the best price you're gonna get in March or April of 2025. Then we've got some adjustable wrenches, a brush, a stud finder, a heat gun. I don't see anything that's incredibly compelling on this page. Okay, and next page, we've got some magnetic hooks. I actually have a couple magnetic hooks back there. Those are from Harbor Freight. One's for my spatula, and the other one is for my hot pad for oven stuff. So yeah, I'm a big fan of those magnetic hooks. They're awesome. Pry bar set for 10 bucks. That's a good deal. They're not the best pry bars. I have some Mayhew pry bars. I love them. They're awesome. I don't know how much, I don't know if I need like really good pry bars, but I like having them. I use them sometimes. And I know they're not gonna break, so that's good. 4-drawer tech cart. That was just on sale. At least it was an Inside Track Club sale for $150. So now it's $170, not as good of a sale. And I'm not gonna buy it because I know I could have bought it for less. I don't own one currently, a 4-drawer tech cart. I just have the 34-inch service cart. I really like it. One of these days I will probably buy a tech cart. I kind of want the 5-drawer more. I think the 5-drawer is a little wider too. I think it's not only, well, wider that way, but deeper, I guess. It's deeper as well. So I kind of want the 5-drawer instead of the 4-drawer. So one of these days I'll probably get it. Okay, so they got the jump starter. Those things are pretty popular, these like battery bank jump starters. I was sort of like given one in exchange for doing a review. It was an AC mount. Feel free to check out that video. And it works. I mean, I used it a couple of times. Even after the video, another buddy of mine, he has an old Camry and battery. I forget whether it was his battery or his alternator, but either way, I jumped him and it worked great. I jumped it like 3 or 4 times. He was just troubleshooting the problem. I forget where it ended up. I think he got both a battery. I know he got a new battery at least. So, but the jump starter worked great. They're awesome. You know, I'm sure this Viking one works fine too. It might be made at the same factory actually. Oh, that breaker bar, Pittsburgh breaker bar, top right, that thing's awesome. I own it, works great. Okay, last page. The Quinn Master Technician tool set for $299. Now, just recently that was on sale for 40% off, which is, let's see, 240. So it's $60 more expensive than it was just like a week and a half ago. So I'm not gonna buy that Master Technician tool set for $300 because I didn't buy it for $240. One of the reasons I didn't buy it is because it had 12-point and 6-point mixed sockets. It didn't have the premium ratchets either. It had like the quick release ratchets. I'm not a big fan of those. I would rather just have the sealed back regular Quinn ratchets. These 5-tier shelves, I bought 3 of them. 1 for my house, 2 for my garage. They're awesome. They're easy to set up. They're strong. At 40 bucks, if you need some shelves, that's a great deal. The Hardy gloves for 41% off. Those were 50% off about 10 days ago at the last parking lot sale. Well, that's about all I can see that I need to summarize on this spring Black Friday sales event at Harbor Freight. I appreciate you guys watching. I have a 5,000 subscriber giveaway coming up, and hopefully sooner rather than later. Well, it's whenever we hit 5,000 subscribers. So this is a set metric 8 to 19 Caterpillar sockets. These are 6-point, shallow. These are made by Snap-on in the Snap-on factory for Caterpillar. I bought these from a Caterpillar dealership, and I will ship anywhere in the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii, for free if you are the lucky winner of these metric sockets. So subscribe and sign up to win. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.